Morning guys, Mon here. Lately I've seen a lot of discussion on the Discord about doing a sub 8 run. And what is that about? So the rune system now is in the game for a while, and for additional rune slots you need one achievement that says complete a match in less than 8 minutes. And a lot of people have asked, like, how do we complete a map in 8 minutes? That seems fairly difficult. And if you know the speedrun economy a little, you know that about 5 to 6 minute runs are possible, but like if you are not very used to the game, even 8 minutes can be very difficult. And today I want to show you a little on how you can approach this challenge and how to complete it fairly easily. So first of all, let's take a look at the skill tree. This should be like fully done. If you attempt an 8-minute run, you should be far enough in the game to have the full skill tree, or like all the damage options at least. Then let's take a look at the runes. For the example runs I have done, and I will show you in a second around me all around, I will have used the weapon expert and the sure-footed rune. I have used these two because these are pretty much the easiest general runes you can get by getting a level 90 and a level 100 in a single match. That's like 2 runs of Endless or something. Fairly easy to achieve, you have time for that, and yeah, you can do that. Overall, these do not have a big impact, but I didn't want it on 0 runes because you have some runes usually. Overall, very good runes are runes that give you important skills quicker, and stuff like general damage like focus fire for projectiles, critical mastery for pretty much anything, multicast mastery is pretty good. I personally like singular focus very much, but I will not showcase it in this scenario here. And for speedrunning, it isn't the absolute best, but it can give very interesting opportunities. Overall, if you play, for example, the Sentinel, as we will do in just a second, you generally could go with... Wait, why are my runes not pre-selected? I would go with critical mastery here, focus fire, generalist, and purity, and multicast mastery is a setup I currently am testing. I pretty much liked it, and yeah, let's just jump into a run. We do these without any curses. I have above me somewhere should be an 48 attempt, which I sadly failed, but it's an interesting, like, it shows on how much damage this can do even on higher curses with a pretty bad setup. So as you can see, we're dealing a lot of damage without pretty much anything already, and I'm one-shotting all enemies here. And the idea is to like keep one-shotting them throughout the run. Well, when we talk about gameplay on these... Oh, that is a very good start here. When I talk about gameplay, you want to stick to the corner here, just so that enemies spawn only from here and here and here and right on top of you. This ensures that you get a lot of kills quickly, and yeah, it's just a very good strategy at like getting a lot of kills quickly, and to like diminish the spawn radius of the enemies, because like you are cutting off 3/4 of the map, so you're cutting off a lot of spawn points, which makes a huge difference. Like if I had to say like what is the biggest factor in reducing your time on a run, it is the corner strategy, just because that is such a massive increase in enemy density. And yeah, you really need to stick to it if you want a very low time. Holy fuck, this is insane. Yeah. And then it comes down to skill selection. Well, we will have another active skill here in a second. And overall what you want with your skills is skills that hit the enemies fast and hard. Like you don't want skills that have a lot of cooldown and hit very few enemies, or don't hit enemies like well. Like there's some skills that have small AoE, a small hit rate, long cooldown, etc., or just low damage, or I focus on dots. And that's stuff that you generally do not want in a speedrun. This is bad. This is very bad, actually. I'm very unlucky on the active skills side here. Ballistas aren't exactly great. Oh, Vicious Strike is very, very strong here. Because overall it's about one-shotting the enemies, and Vicious Strikes ensures that we critically hit enemies that are on full life. Which is just very good. Then when it comes to passives, you just want to stack attack speed as much as possible to have like very high uptime on all of your skills. Then you want stuff like critical damage, general damage, and in specific circumstances like specific dots. But these are very specific, like if you play, for example, the beams, you want a lot of doom application and stuff like that. But for the Sentinel, since we play Purity as well, we want as little dots as possible, so we go with no dots at all. That's why it's bad that we got Void and Blind Chakram here. There's some options that are a lot better, and I will get rid of the Void here. Then critical chance is extremely strong as well with the critical mastery, because critical chance also is critical damage, and it just works very well. Yeah. I have other points on my list? Not really. Like, these more or less are the keys to like a fast run. You want to sit in the corner, you want... Oh, Expose Weakness actually is pretty good here. Even though we apply one more debuff, it makes us apply a lot more fragility stacks, which just are so strong that we can live with having one more debuff on the enemies. Nice, so we get all our experience here. Banish, defense and speed mods. We do not want those, we just want attack speed. We don't need... Ooh, we could actually... No, doesn't matter. What did I just say? We don't need AoE because our skills are purely projectile based and don't have an AoE really. So AoE is kind of a waste here. We could banish it as well, but there still is what like... this is actually bad. It doesn't really give anything, but we don't want the others. Because we don't want to reduce our damage here. Okay. We take the ballistas. We have a lot of them at this point. It actually is a really good run, I have to say. Oh, nice. Storm of Arrows is pretty much the best clearing skill for Sentinel. Especially when you get it very early. Actually, it's not that insane, the run. We are at boss 3 only. We could be nearly at boss 4 already. With a higher clearing setup. But for projectiles it's kind of difficult because you just miss enemies here and there. I just like the playstyle of the Sentinel. But yeah, for a proper perfect speedrun you would want something with better coverage. Because projectiles just miss enemies here and there and they survive for too long. So the run kinda takes more or less long. I wouldn't really say long because it still is a very fast run compared to like not that fast runs, I guess. But yeah. You get the general idea of how this is done. If you have less rune power, you could drop either Multicast Mastery or Generalist. While I do like Generalist overall, it is pretty decent. I probably would drop Purity the earliest, but the 50% damage increase is very, very good. Or 45% damage increase because we usually apply fragility onto the enemies that don't die instantly. Generalist gives 5% extra damage per type of skill we have, which is a lot actually, because we have projectile, missile, frontal, physical, and then we've got chaos, empowering, lasting, area as well. Then we've got static and summon here. Lasting we got already, and yeah, that's it. But it's like 9 tags or something, so it's another 45% increased damage. So that is pretty good. So just finish it at 555. This is okayish. I've done this build on 5 minutes 18, I think, something like that, with my best time. But yeah, 516 it is. Yeah, this was with the 4x Storm of Arrows, I believe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, this is pretty much everything I had to show you. I wanted to show you, so if you still have any questions on specifics, just let me know. I will probably start a series of like smaller guides on how to select skills, what skills do we want, how to banish properly, what are the difference on the different curse levels and such. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up and have a great time.